Right here is the start line to one of the world's greatest and most dangerous motor racing events. And 156 corners and 20 kilometres up that way is the finish line. This is Pikes Peak, where each year hundreds of madmen race amazing machines, from electric cars, homemade specials, rally monsters, motorcycles and even trucks in the race to the clouds. Pikes Peak International Hill Climb, as it is officially called, is also one of the oldest motor racing events in the world, earlier this year celebrating its 100th anniversary. For petrol heads, it was immortalised in the late 1980s by the iconic short film called Climb Dance, which was shot by French director Jean-Louis Marais and captured the brilliance of former World Rally champion Arie Vatanen on his way to winning the 1988 event in his Peugeot 405 T16. Back then, the majority of the hill climb was actually on a gravel road. But now, since 2011, the entire hill climb has been paved. Subsequently, the race record has tumbled in recent years. Where it seemed almost impossible to break the 10-minute barrier a decade ago, 7-time World Rally champion Sébastien Loeb smashed it in 2013, recording a blistering 8 minutes 13 second run in his mind-blowing Peugeot 208 T16. Well, there's no chance of us getting anywhere near that record today, so we're just going to cruise up the hill and enjoy the scenery and this piece of road. As a bit of a reference, Pikes Peak is the highest mountain of the Southern Front Range in the Rocky Mountains. It is located about 20 minutes from Colorado Springs, which is 100 k's south of the capital city, Denver. At the summit, it stands 4,300 metres above sea level, almost double the height of Mount Kosciuszko, but it is still only ranked the 53rd highest peak in the USA. Well, it's just a pimple then in comparison to some of the others around this region, but a bloody big one nonetheless. The race to the clouds itself climbs almost 1,500 metres in elevation over the course, starting at 9,990 feet and topping out at 14,110 feet above sea level. Well, the first few kilometres are fairly fast and flowing, a nice gentle way to get into it. And then it starts climbing and the trees start disappearing. And I just don't know what the consequences are if you'd fall off the side of this place. There's some pretty steep drop-offs. Then you can start feeling the altitude having an effect on the car. It's certainly not breathing as much oxygen as it was down the bottom, but it doesn't stop it from ripping through the corners. Man, this thing is fun. What a mega stretch of road. Well, time for a breather and to take in this magnificent view. Look at it, it's spectacular. And let me tell you, you'll have to catch your breath. The air up here is pretty thin and we're only halfway to the top. And here is one of the most famous sections of the hill climb. It's called the W's, a series of switchbacks that literally climbs pretty steeply up the side of the mountain. And a mistake up here can have some serious consequences, as Jeremy Foley found out in 2012 in this petrifying crash that both he and his co-driver walked away from. And then it comes into the Devil's Playground, an old ski field, and just as you think it's going to be easy, well, it never stops. And it's here, just around this corner, where Vatanen took his hands off the wheels, staring into this big ball of fire as the sun was rising over the mountain. He was fully sideways in that Peugeot. Man, that was an epic drive. And I just can't imagine what it would have been like back in those days when it was all gravel and the thing was just sideways, almost falling off the side of the planet. Epic, epic drive and an epic piece of footage. And just when you think you can breathe easy again, the last two corners, challenging tight hairpins with drop-offs that literally fall off the side of the planet. My God, this place is mega. And then just a nice fast sweeper over the finish line. Look at that. Pikes Peak, done. Well, there you go. We're at the top of Pikes Peak and my head is spinning, not just because I'm 14,000 feet above sea level, but that piece of road is amazing. And I have a huge respect for those guys that compete in the Pikes Peak hill climb. They are brave. And it's something that you should put on your bucket list if you're ever doing a drive across America.